Welcome to Bass Habits episode number 84. Today we're talking about playing bass in Daft Punk.
Daft Punk were an iconic French electronic music duo renowned for revolutionizing the global music scene with their innovative sound and trademark robot personas. The band consisted of Thomas Bangalter and Guy Manuel de Homem Christo. Emerging in the 90s, Daft Punk achieved massive success in 1997 with their breakthrough album Homework, featuring the hit single Around the World. The band released 3 more critically acclaimed records, showcasing a shift toward a more melodic and futuristic sound, incorporating funk, jazz, and rock ingredients. One consistent element in their music has been the prominent disco-inspired bass lines, often the backbone of their songs, reflecting an exquisite attention to detail. First of all, who played bass on the records? Daft Punk, known for an enigmatic and press-shy nature, left no clear indication on the first 3 albums about who played what. Despite some of the most iconic bass lines being recorded on synth, it's reasonable to assume that Bangalter, who played bass in the duo's previous band, Darlene, likely handled the low end, while Guy Manuel focused more on guitar. So let's get down to it and take a look at some of Daft Punk's finest bass work. The first track we're analyzing today is their breakthrough 1997 single Around the World. The track gained global popularity as an instant club banger, a real nod to the French duo's unwritten rule of less is more. The bass line, a major player in maintaining the groove, consists of 3 sections: the intro, the main riff, and a chorus that emerges halfway through the song. The intro riff is a descending pattern spelling out an A Dorian scale, starting from the flat 6th. The intro sets the mood for the main bass line, a clear reference to Chic's Good Times. This is evident in the rhythm pattern, which starts off by emphasizing quarter notes, hitting with a kick. Not only the rhythm pattern is similar, but both bass lines use a Dorian scale, adding a little exotic touch to the song. The main riff is composed of an ascending section, which uses quarter notes, and a descending section, which uses 8th notes. The whole thing sounds and looks like going up and down a staircase, and that's exactly what happens in the video, adding emphasis to the loop that continues throughout the song. The chorus coming in out song breaks out from the Dorian feeling and focuses more on octaves in full disco fashion. The part is fairly busier compared to the rest of the song, adding tension that gets released towards the end, when we go back to the intro riff. Regarding the recording, I'm not sure whether it's a real bass or a synth bass. The tone feels like a synth, but the little slides in the chorus section make me think of a real bass. Either way, great work. The vocal hook, going unfazed beginning to end, completes the song, turning into a memorable disco anthem that doesn't stop to amaze me to this day. Around the world, around the world. Coming next is Something About Us from Discovery. Discovery is way more melodic and jazz-inspired compared to their debut. The track opens up with a slick Rhodes chord progression that once again repeats itself for the whole time. The chords are played without the root note, creating a space that gets occupied by the bass guitar. The bass line, minimal yet effective, follows the root notes and their higher octaves, complementing the chord sequence. The idea is akin to orchestral composition, where during a chord played by the entire orchestra, the bass and cello handle lower notes, while the violins and other sections take care of the higher notes. Bangalter is a classically trained musician who recorded movie scores and symphonic music, so my bet that's where it comes from. Try playing the chord sequence including the root and see how much worse it sounds. Another cool thing about this bass line is the little variation that happens on the third bar, with the root being played on the 7th, 16th note instead of the 8th. It's a tiny little detail that gives a small instability to the groove, making it way more interesting and less square. You might not think much of it, but it's been 23 years after the song has been recorded and we're still talking about it. A very simple bass line whose job is to support the sweet chord sequence and the emotional talk box lyrics. In this case, more than ever, less is more. Coming next is Voyager, once again from the Discovery album. By the way, if you haven't seen the animated movie that came out with the album, make sure you do so and get your Kleenex ready. Voyager begins with another epic chord sequence, and once again we get this nostalgic and futuristic jazzy feeling that Daft Punk can do so well. When the bass and drums kick in, things take off. The quick and short notes create a sense of unease and tension, and when the melody moves to longer, sustained root notes, it provides a feeling of relief. The shorter, more lively notes introduce a significant amount of syncopation by accentuating various 16th notes in each bar. That's a lot of tension and release for only 4 bars of music. To add contrast, the rhythm guitar keeps a pedal tone on the G, giving a special aura to the track. The bass line is so good that pretty much keeps up the song on its own, repeating once again with no significant changes throughout the whole track. I'm not sure if it's a real bass or a programmed sequence. It sounds like a real 5-string bass with a lot of compression, but the riff is so articulated and so goddamn hard to play that I think it might be programmed. I've made a 4-string rendition tuning down to C a while ago, and let me tell you, it took some doing. Either way, Voyager is a fantastic track that proves how few quality parts are more than enough to create a masterpiece. Last track we're analyzing today is Get Lucky from the Random Access Memories album. The song features Pharrell Williams on vocals and was a Grammy-winning huge hit. We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky. On Random Access Memories, Daft Punk opened up to external musicians, and bass duties were split between jazz icon James Genius and bass legend Nathan East. You know, that guy that played with secondary acts like Michael Jackson and Eric Clapton? Nathan East played bass on Get Lucky and put together a simple yet very sophisticated bass line. Once again, the song features the same 4 chords repeating all the time. The guitar player on Get Lucky is Nile Rodgers of Chic, a master when it comes to funky music. The official story says Rodgers recorded the guitar right on top of the drums, nailing the rhythm, and then passed the ball to Nathan East. Instead of laying the bass on the drums and guitar foundation, East opted for something different, creating a bass line using pretty much just root notes and octaves. The pattern dances around Rodgers' guitar like a snake, avoiding most of it. If you compare the guitar and bass tracks, you will see that out of the 28 bass notes in the first 4 bars, only 7 hit at the same time as the rhythm guitar. So bass and guitar kinda swap their traditional roles, with the bass acting more like a solo instrument, while Rodgers keeps the song grounded. There's a lot more to discover about Daft Punk's music. On Random Access Memories, there's some real epic bass work. Make sure you take a look at Instant Crush, again with Nathan East on bass, and Giorgio by Moroder, with a very elaborate bass line by James Genius. If you're a rock musician struggling to bring in interesting parts, you should really try to learn some of these songs, as they will help you enhance your rhythm sense and break away from traditional rock schemes. Daft Punk announced their split in 2021, marking the end of a legendary era in electronic music. Despite their disbandment, their legacy persists as they remain pioneers who reshaped the landscape of electronic and dance music. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment to let me know what you think about Daft Punk, and follow me on Instagram for more.